Hi, Limitless Lindy here. Today it's Monday, 4th of September 2023, and I've been on this carnivore lifestyle and health journey for just over 18 months. I was housebound, depressed. I hated my life. The only thing keeping me going was my family. I didn't want to leave my daughters behind. They needed their mum. I found the Carnivore Diet, and let's just say the rest is history. Fast forward to today, I have my life back. I feel amazing. My daughters have their mum back. Even my doctor was like, "Oh, you're doing great. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. I don't need to see you for another year." Huzzah! The carnivore diet has been transforming for me. I mean, from one extreme to the next. Look at this. How can you dispute this? But they do, and honestly, I don't care what anybody thinks. I feel amazing. I have my life back. Anyway, I'll leave it there. You know where my heart is. I feel amazing. My family has me back and I'm loving life. And to be honest, that's all that really matters. So let's jump into my daily videos to see how my week went. Monday, I woke up and I felt amazing. So I got up and jumped on the treadmill for 10 minutes on speed 4. I was so pleased with myself. I managed really well and I probably could have kept going, but my head, oh gosh, you've got to do the housework, you've got washing to do and emails to answer, got to feed the dog, let the birds out, blah, 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 blah. My mind just doesn't stop, and my husband's always saying, shut your mind down, you've got to relax. I find that so difficult. My mind's always buzzing with something, a million things going on at once. So definitely something I need to work on. I'd love to get out and walk on the streets, and it's beautiful. Spring is here and the blossoms out on the trees and just the birds everywhere. It's just so beautiful out there, but I'm frightened. I had a couple of falls in the past, and geez, I knocked out 4 of my teeth at one fall, and it frightens me to go out on my own. So I'm kind of waiting for hubby to be home, and on the nicer weather maybe we can go out together. We've done one walk around the block together, and that was so nice, but to go out by myself, not quite there yet. I just don't feel comfortable or confident. If I fell, God, how am I going to get up? So the treadmill is my option for now. It's what I'm comfortable with and I feel safe. So it's just a matter of keeping me on there a bit longer. So maybe if I can, pop some music on and try and drown out those noises in my head, that might be an option. So something I'll have to try over the next couple of days. I roasted a brisket in the oven just with salt. It's such a cheap, easy meal. Hubby and I had that for lunch, and then we had leftovers for dinner, and he got to take some to work the next day for lunch. We really enjoy that. We have that maybe once or twice a week because it's just so convenient and cheap and delicious. For the rest of the day, I just worked. I work from home full time, and my job is predominantly emails and web-based, so pretty easy, but just in front of the computer a lot. I have my sit-stand desk, so I sort of alternate all day going up and down, just trying to get a little bit of movement in while I do my work. But it was a big day for work, and I didn't get to do much else. Tuesday, I woke up and it was another beautiful morning, so I jumped on the treadmill again, 10 minutes on speed 4. I did put some music on this time, but still struggled a bit. Maybe I need to put my AirPods on and pump the music up a little bit louder to drown out those voices. But I still had a lot of things buzzing through my head and sort of distracting me from what I was doing. My daughter is still on a cruise ship in Noumea, so I thought I'd go and spend some time with the animals and keep them company. So I drove up to her house, which is about an hour from here. And she lives next to a little nature reserve, so there's lots of little birds around and just a beautiful, beautiful place. So I played with the animals for a bit. 2 cats, 2 dogs and a chicken. The dogs, wow, they've got so much energy. I think I spent nearly an hour or 2 just throwing their teddy bear, and they jump up and they're just beautiful. I only had the one meal for the day. I prepared a steak and a piece of salmon the night before, and I shared that with the animals, so they loved it just as much as I did. We watched a movie at night together, lots of cuddles and pats, and it was lovely. But then I received an email, and I'm not going to get into it here, but you can definitely watch my video on Carnivore Diet Naysayers, and you'll find out more about that there. But it did put me in a foul mood. I was very hurt. So it was a difficult night for me. I didn't get much sleep. I just cuddled the animals, had a bit of a cry. A lot of thoughts going through my head. I almost shut the channel down. I just thought, with comments like that, I didn't want to be part of it. And then I thought back to 18 months ago, when I was at my worst, when I was desperate and lost, and how nice would it have been to see somebody who had walked in my shoes and had transformed their life and given me that hope that I needed, that life can change, that I can get my life back. And I felt so alone. So I decided, no, you've got to keep doing this. There's people out there that need me. They need to hear my story. They need that little bit of hope to change their life and get their life back. So I put those thoughts behind me and thought, no, I've got to move on and keep going. That was a long night. Wednesday, I woke up still at my daughter's house. I was covered in animals, 2 cats, 2 dogs. It was a very cozy night. I was still feeling a little emotional, but I got up, and the Steak and Butter gang had a weekly Zoom chat, so I thought I'd jump in there. The coaches are always so uplifting, and the member stories are inspiring, so it always puts a bit of a smile on my face. Bella actually DM'd me and asked me to stay back behind the meeting, which I did, and I spoke with Emily and Bella for a little. They wanted to know how my YouTube channel was going, and I just broke down. I told them about the email I got, and they were a little taken aback by it. Emily was very concerned that I was so upset, and offered some time to catch up on a chat and help me through the process, to help me deal with this negativity that was going through my head. I was so appreciative of that. I then spent a couple of hours playing with the animals, throwing the ball and the teddy and cuddling the cats. And then I headed home and did some work for a few hours and ended the day with a steak and a couple of egg yolks. So that was my Wednesday. Thursday, I did have a Zoom meeting scheduled with Coach Emily. It went for over an hour. It was amazing. We talked about the email that I received and just Carnivore Diet Naysayers in general, the negativity that you get, and just how to cope with them moving forward. And it was just so good to talk to Emily and just be able to say how I feel and get things off my mind. It almost feels like my filing cabinet had burst in my head, and just speaking to her just put everything back into perspective and just helped sort the mess in my head. I felt quite good after the meeting, and I just wanted to thank Emily for allowing me to post our coaching session on YouTube, Carnivore Diet Naysayers, for you, in the hope that it can help you sort of work through your naysayers as well. After the meeting, my husband had been concerned about me, but was so proud at how strong this incident had made me and how I'd come through. So he took me out and he bought me a light which sits above my computer, so my face is not so in the dark when I do these videos. So I'm hoping that makes a difference and that you can see my lovely face. Thank you, hubby. And then he took me out for lunch and we went to our local cafe where we had the famous carnivore platter. I ate the char-grilled Wagyu steak with butter, and then I took the pork home, and he had the pork ribs and chicken, which do have sauces, but he's cool with that, so that all worked really well. We then came home to find this in the mail. I was so happy. I'd like to thank Bella from Steak and Butter Gang. Every Friday they have a Zoom meeting for members where they can talk about their progress updates or NSVs, and everyone who attends the meeting or comments on the meeting, their name gets put into a hat and 3 names are drawn out weekly and they win a prize. The prize this week happened to be Carnivore bars, which I would love to try, but they don't deliver to Australia. So Bella asked if I'd like a book, and I chose this one, and it was just arrived in the mail today and I was so happy. So looking forward to getting stuck into this to see if there's anything else I can learn about this carnivore lifestyle. Friday, I woke up to find my video had taken off. I had over 1,000 views and so many wonderful comments, lots of positive feedback. I thank everyone so much for taking the time to watch my video and for your beautiful comments. I feel so loved and supported in this community. You guys are just awesome. I did have a couple of naysayers, and look, honestly, I do appreciate your concern, but yeah, there's no need to go there. I am feeling amazing, and unless that changes, I will be continuing along with my journey. Today is the first of the month, and it's always a busy day for me as I do all my invoicing and pays and stuff for my work. So it was a huge day of work. I didn't really achieve anything today. I haven't done any exercise for a few days. This email has kind of blown my motivation out of the window in that regards. However, I did remain on track nutrition wise. I didn't cheat. I didn't go off plan. I stuck to my carnivore meals and my carnivore foods, and I'm very proud of that. Normally that would set me off and I'd spiral into carb land and failure, but it hasn't happened. I've kept strong, and I'm just got to take that. I'm proud of that. Saturday, we woke up to a beautiful morning, so hubby and I jumped in the car and we headed down to our local farmer. I love the name, Meet Me at the Gate. We hadn't been there before and we wanted to try and support our local farmer, so we thought head down there, see what they've got and what we can organise. People were lovely, the property was just absolutely beautiful. However, we were a little disappointed. They didn't have a big variety of meat and they had very limited quantities. They only open once a fortnight and you need to get your orders in early. They did say they had a few carnivore customers. However, they do feel concerned giving all the meat to these customers and not to other people that sort of just shop and buy a couple of things at a time. It didn't feel fair to them, which I understand. It's just disappointing on my side. I would have loved to support them, and to me, if you're going to sell the meat, whether it's me or someone else, doesn't really matter, but I get that. And we did buy a few things. I love the fact that they had a little egg stand. So they've got the free-range chickens and their little son. I think he's about 4 or 5 years old, and he actually runs the whole business. He feeds the chickens, he collects and washes the eggs, and he puts them in the little box which is labelled with his name, Riley's Eggs. And I just thought that was so sweet. All the money that he gets, he puts back into chicken feed and looking after the chickens. What an amazing responsibility and life lesson that is for him to be running his own little business at that age. I just thought that was so cool. So obviously I bought 2 cartons of eggs. I only had 3 and I did leave one for the other person that was standing behind me because he was after a few as well. So yeah, I did share the load there. Obviously, we didn't have enough meat to see us through the week, so we took a visit to our local butcher who we've never actually been to or met. Everything has been delivered to us and via email, and they've always been lovely. So I thought, why not go down there, introduce ourselves and say hi. And I'm so glad we did. They were such lovely, lovely people, and I learned a lot about the meat there. I didn't realise the meat that we buy there is actually grass-fed beef, and the owner Brian is so particular about where he sources his cattle from. So that was really good to hear that they're obviously supporting the smaller businesses and getting the best quality meat. And we've never had an issue with the meat there. It's always been top-notch. We just thought we'd try this the local farmer, just to try and do the right thing. But I'm very happy with where we're getting our meat now, and we'll continue to be purchasing from them as well. So we loaded up with meat, and we probably have enough to keep us going for the next 3 weeks. So yeah, freezer stocked, and I'm really happy with all that. We then came home, and I actually had something different. I had some beef ribs, which I cooked in the air fryer, and I had those for lunch, and they were delicious. While we were having lunch, we popped YouTube on the TV, and we watched Scotty's live after party. He normally does these lives every day, and there's a regular lot of people that come in and they just chat about random topics through the day, mostly carnivore topics, but sometimes other things as well. It's always been a lot of fun. And today he had a special guest, the lioness hiker. Normally anybody can sort of jump in. He puts the StreamYard link in, and anybody can join the chat, and they just have a bit of a chin wag, and it's all pretty fun and light-hearted. Lioness hiker, I believe she was a nurse, and they did a bit of talking about different things, and that was interesting to watch. She's a lovely lady. And somehow, I don't know what happened, they asked for me to jump on. I was totally blown away and so nervous. I've never done a live before. I mean, I've only done the one interview with Sean from Intentional Carnivore, and I was like, wow, okay, give me a few minutes. I had beefy fingers, and needed to get myself sorted. So I jumped on the computer and I joined the chat, and that was really fun. We got to talk a little bit about my journey, and they asked a few questions, and it was fun to be able to interact with these people one-on-one, and I had a really good time. And so thank you to Carnivore Scott and the Lioness Hiker for your company that day. I really enjoyed myself, and I hope to join in another chat one day soon. Sunday, and today it's Father's Day here in Australia. So I got up and I found Ella still fast asleep in bed. She had a late night at work last night, so I thought I'll let her sleep, and I might help out a little bit and get breakfast started for everyone, so we could have the traditional Father's Day breakfast together. So I made a big frittata with some bacon, and I did some sausages, which I have custom made. They're pure beef and salt. That's it. No preservatives, no added nasties. So they're pretty clean. I set breakfast up, and I finally got the family up, and we had a lovely breakfast together. Had a bit of a talk, a bit of a laugh, and hubby got his present from Ella, which was really nice. Then Ella had to go to work, so my hubby and I just chilled out for the rest of the day. The girls had actually booked a restaurant for dinner, so we headed down to Akami, which is a Japanese restaurant, and they serve all you can eat Japanese food, which is really nice. It is one of our favourite go-tos. There are a few carnivore options. I normally get the prawns, which I have to peel and eat. I don't really like doing that in winter. It's a little bit cold, but that was still enjoyable. And then I have the sashimi, and then do a beef carpaccio as well, so I sort of have a bit of that as well, and that fills me up plenty. And hubby likes his teriyaki chicken, and he likes his fried rice. Again, like I said, he's not a strict carnivore like I am. I try to stay as strict as I can and as clean as I can, but he can get away with doing other stuff, and which is cool with me. And the girls, they had a ball as well. They were both hungry after their long days at work, and it was a lovely meal. And I'm pretty sure hubby had a lovely day, and I hope all the other Aussie fathers out there had a fantastic Father's Day too. Overall, it's been a pretty good week. I did encounter that speed hump midweek, but I got through it, I conquered, and I feel so much stronger on the other side. And so what did the scale reveal for me? My weight as of this morning is 136.6 kilos. Huzzah! The scale has gone down a little bit more, so can't complain about that. I'm quite happy with how my week went. So plans for next week? definitely the treadmill. I need to jump on that treadmill, as I said, not for weight loss, but for strengthening my bones, strengthening my muscles, building up my stamina to travel and just do all those amazing, exciting things, experience and living my life. So exercise and movement is definitely going to be a priority this week. As for my meals, I actually received a comment from one of my subscribers who mentioned eating early in the morning and fasting sort of afternoon and through the night can be a bit of a game changer, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. I normally eat my meals at night because that's when hubby comes from work and we sit down and we eat our meals together, but I'd much prefer to eat early on and get it out of the way and then fast for the afternoon and through the night. So when he comes home, I'll have his dinner ready for him, and then I can just sip on a hot drink. And I like my hot water. I do occasionally have a peppermint tea just for a bit of flavour in the water. And I think that might be good. I don't like to go to bed on a full tummy, so eating earlier does obviously appeal to me a lot better. So I'll give that a try. So definitely more exercise and eating early in the day, and more fasting through the afternoon and night. So that's my plan for the week. If you'd like to share your love, just drop a heart emoticon in the comments below, and I look forward to sharing my weekly update next week.